Hello, Speedgaming. We are continuing with the Speedgaming Live online 2024 Super Metroid Randomizer Tournament featuring Map Rando. And this is a continuation of the best of 3 series between Zeb and BaronOfRed. I am Aussie101, one of the organizers for the tournament, as well as your commentator tonight. And then with me is going to be Kaizentum, who's doing the tracking. And going to indicate that Zeb took the win on the first race. And what a close race that was. Ended up real tight at the end. Some last minute routing choices, like actually making the difference. So we're hoping to get another really close race this time as well. But going by the standings, Zeb is the favored to win by a fair amount. Zeb is the number 3 seed. Baron is, I think, 29th, because there are 32 entrants in the bracket stage. So that would make sense. Zeb actually tied for 3rd against Oats and Goats. And so they had to play a tiebreaker race. So that was neat to see. On the scores, they tied down to the 100th of a point, following our scoring system. And we didn't expect that, but we sorted it out. But now we are into the bracket stages. So we are going to be playing a set of best of 3s, and then also there's a double elimination format. So there are going to be many, many, many races. And especially this week and next. If you want to learn how Map Rando works, then you're going to want to tune into these races where hopefully you get talked through the races. But if not, you can see how the pros are playing the seeds and learn from there. Map Rando came out about a year and a half ago, and this is our first big tournament. So people are still figuring it out. And they are off now. So Baron on the right, Zeb on the left. We have 2 left starts. And let's see what they run into. They are not running into this crab. Waiting patiently for the crab. For those that don't know, crabs do 120 damage. And on these no E-Tank, no suit situations, they are a common cause of death. Particularly because they're in water rooms, and in water rooms, you can't control your movement as well as you might want. So Zeb gonna give us a peek, and that's spring ball up there. And we get E-Tank in the gravity suit room. And screw attack is our first major. When you have West Ocean right next to ship like this, it's pretty common that you're going to be able to get that super locked item that's up above pretty early. So I don't know that I think it's too important to scout it. Gonna expect to run into supers pretty soon, morph ball pretty soon. And then we already have the screw attack, and that's going to open up the gauntlet door off of landing site here. And because we start at the ship in these settings, it becomes common that you have a way to get through these bomb blocks. And that means screw attack can show up early. The other options would be morph ball and bombs or power bombs. And then speed booster is another way. If you have an E-Tank, which they did run into. We're playing hard tricky, and part of tricky is that there will always be an E-Tank in one of the very first locations. And that's because the game's hard if you have to do every room perfectly. So we wanted to add in some leniency. While jumping off the tripper is not easy. I would expect more people to miss it than have been hitting the wall jump. But you can see that Zeb's going to take a lead here. So we got Morph Ball. That's going to go up the Edikun Power Bomb thing. Get some cursed Edikun noises. So what do you do with supers? You have the option of going directly back to get Spring Ball. But now Zeb knows that there's nothing really up in Torian they can do at the moment. Can be waiting for power bombs before he can climb higher. And so Baron's just gonna be a little bit behind now. Zeb's gonna get the Spring Ball. Baron's gonna do the same. And then let's see, we saw a Crab Hole, right? So that would not be in logic with just Spring Ball. Gonna show off the shortcut, demonstrating that you don't need bombs to fall through the middle of West Ocean. And E-Tank in the water. Early E-Tanks are really nice. I don't like what Baron's doing, like passing up the items. But here he goes to the right. Back left. Oh, with Spring Ball, actually, you would take the middle path through the bridge part of West Ocean. And so there's a good chance that there's something in there. But Baron gonna get another E-Tank. And Zeb's gonna show us what's to the right. And kind of the idea is to follow your most recent progression, and that's gonna be Spring Ball. And they've also seen everything else. A Spring Ball doesn't get you up G4. So it's going to be that bridge in the middle of West Ocean. And both of them are going to be sent there, so they're kind of tied. I don't like this scout from Baron either. But he doesn't know that this is going to be a major. It's just going to be a pretty good item. But being a major, that's a sign that you want to do it. Zeb is taking a shortcut, and this is a expert level trick. We're playing hard. That is going to be like 2 difficulty levels lower. Reset to get the health back. So it's not an easy trick at all. But it's going to put him on the right side of the bridge, and we're pretty confident that this is where the progression item is going to be. So for this to work, you have to turn around while you're touching the ceiling. And that makes it so you don't lose your momentum. Those are called uninterrupted frames, or animation frames. Very hard trick, though. As I said, expert level trick. So I'm going to take the long way around. And we're going to be tied. Yeah. Very, very close. So Zeb's spending all that time, tied it up. And it's actually Gravity Suit. So it was the left side of the bridge, anyway. So they're going to give us a GT fight, a BT fight. 2 supers is enough. But you need to not shoot too fast or iframes will eat your super. And then from here, it's a pretty good idea to go to Crab Hole and see if there's anything there. And then other than that, you would go down G4 with Gravity Suit, since now you have a way back up. Okay, so that's going directly to elevator. What you're looking for is a location that is specifically locked by gravity. Gravity is going to be the way up through the elevator water room, but you can sequence break, in air quotes, and go down this way early. And locations like that are going to be filled with filler items. That is Fantoon with no missiles. So to get missiles, Fantoon's always going to be connected to the unpowered map room. Yeah, it doesn't have a way back. So Zeb's going to leave that. So coming here didn't work out. But because there's no way back through Bombway, that location's not currently in logic. So just gonna head down. The Super Fantoon fight, especially with Screw Attack, you can do it. And it goes on for so long that you can usually farm enough supers back. Because he's going to enrage every time. And so you don't really need to worry about being full on supers. I guess unless you expect to miss. But at the same time, you can usually walk around a few close by rooms and look for a missile pack. But the super only fight is like 2 or 3 minutes. The missile fight's a minute. Right. So Baron saw the boss and then walked out. And that's part of map rando, where gray doors don't shut behind you right away. And that's because you have no way of telling that you're walking into a boss fight. And if you just can't do the boss fight, then that'd be a soft lock. And so there's measures that were taken to keep that from happening because it's unfun. So similarly, we're going to see some caution tape markers on a couple of rooms. Since they have gravity already, it's not going to make a big difference. But those are to indicate that you could soft lock yourself by going through the door. In the vanilla map, you already know where all the soft lock locations are going to be. Same with like area shuffle. So with map rando, you need some way to protect the runner from that. So Phantom Flames, they don't have a great super drop rate, but it's usually good enough. The problem is just going to be if you miss supers. And we're going to get the criteria map. The map is the big thing that you want. We have Kraid with double chamber major. I think that was Plasma. Yeah, Plasma Pirates major. You need power bombs to get over there. So we're probably going to Coliseum. But if you did drop down before getting Gravity Suit, before a bunch of items to get this map, it wouldn't have worked out too well. Especially if you had to do a super only Fantoon for the map. Because in that situation you would be soft locked and have to redo the fight. And Baron is through. So they're both going to have a boss down already. I guess I'd say it's less common to have a boss killed in 12 minutes. It's more likely to be on the opposite end of that. Have late first boss kill. This is high jump E-tank room that Zeb's entering. And so you need to know that the crumble blocks do not respawn. But if you go through the door on the left, then they will respawn, and then there's no way back. So you can get the hollow dot, but it's not safe to continue. Yeah, in front of Kraid was Double Chamber, which has a major. And then to the right of that was Plasma Pirates. But on the way there is Ice Shutters, and you need a power bomb to get through that room. So now we're to Everest. The map is not very close. We have supers. Enough health for most, like, single hell runs. Okay, with that E-Tank you can do a little bit more. But you can go through, like, any single hell run. You can go through water rooms. Saves are really nice in this situation. Because you have to run around blind. And without power bombs, it is still possible to get soft locked. We get Watering Hole here. This is 2 items. Double missile, nice. Usually if you get an early suit, it's going to be a fast seed. I would expect this one to be sub-hour. But no power bombs yet. And also, early suit does mean, on the other hand, that there's going to be a lot of rooms open. And they've gotten enough E-tanks that even more rooms are going to be possible. So we don't really know where to look for the majors yet. And we're into Norfair. Norfair also has a bad map. Kind of the 2 things that determine if it's going to be a slow seed are the map locations and the suit locations. If you get good support items early, then you can... maybe it's not too bad to have late suits. But here we already have a suit. And you do actually pick up E-tanks fairly quickly. Once you have enough E-tanks, a Very doesn't become important anymore. And then you also have Screw Attack. Screw Attack helps a lot. We are going down. Yeah, we're taking the plunge. Okay, reset that. Power bombs are listed as filler items. Oh, Baron gets the map. Did I miss that? I did miss that. I wasn't looking. Zeb was showing off the puny 2 items in Green Pirates. Okay, so early supers has a major. That's Ice Beam. Oh, and power bombs. So this worked out really, really well for Baron. And Zeb is not in a good position yet. Going through the mini boss rush over here. So to the left of Baron is a farm room, but we're gonna get Snail Clip first. Snail Clip in Hard Logic expects you to have X-Ray. But it's also possible that a speed booster is available. He's gonna scout the item for us. Plasma. Would like that. For Snail Clip, you want to align the snail with the little dots on the pipe. And over here you get 2 chances. Where he's trying to do it the first time also works, but it has a risk of bumping the snail or the snail activating early. A little bit slower. That looks close. Yeah. Okay, so that's Plasma. Good Snail Clip. And then there's another major to the left. And some heated rooms. That's Crumble Tower. Both sandpits with an item. The way back is possible. That looks like a lot of really nice value for Baron. I think he can do all that. So we have 4 more majors on the screen. So that's going to put Zeb in a not so good position. There's a question of what order you do things on Baron's side. Let's have Spring Ball for left sandpit, so that'll help a bit. So just Morph Bombs. Single missile start. That is... You're not happy about that. It's gonna be exciting to see all the runners learn the Spore Spawn quick kills because of map rando. I think there's some all bosses speedruns that do Spore Spawn early. They would learn it. Spore Spawn RT8 knows the quick kill. And then I for sure learned it for redesign. Because in ROM hacks, they like to make you do Spore Spawn fight early. Baron's health is kind of scary. Like, I guess not really. It's gonna be less than an E-tank each way. This has not been a good Spore Spawn fight. Spore Spawn, you can kill it with 3 supers and a missile. Okay, yeah. There's even a farm room here. And he already got the item. So good luck, Kaizentum. Telling us what that is. Possibly high jump. Maybe not. But that looks like high jump. Revisiting the rooms of the dead bosses. And this looks like just leaving. Doesn't want to be in Norfair anymore. So didn't get anything at all really in Norfair. Oh, I missed the gravity jump too. It's not a free gravity jump, but it's still surprising. Baron's side, I expect him to clean up more of the majors. Probably do the sandpit, right sandpit next. Yep. Then top right of Everest, he can do the wall jumps. Cannot go through Shack Tool. Still doesn't have power bombs. Okay, so this will be Crumble Tower. You do have to be careful in Crumble Tower. Wave Beam. Oh, he's doing the frozen Sofa strat. I think that one is in logic. You want to Spring Ball here. Okay, made it out. No worries. Did not make it out. Maybe some worries. I forgot that was a heated rip. You don't really need wave. So I don't know if he wants to go back. But that is a time loss. I was wondering why his reserve wasn't full coming out of the cosine room farm. But Crumble Shaft has claimed many runners. Mystery Tournament and a map rando. Wonder how often it comes up in Mystery Tournament, actually. It's only like in Countdown. There's Mother Brain. There's Ridley. And I don't imagine you want to get the Hollow Dots. So many majors right here. You just get majors. Well, you do want the close ones, especially when they're power bombs. Baron's health is even lower this time. At this health, it's not really safe to fall down the sand pit. Oh, he's gonna farm. Okay. Screw attack farming. Okay. Morph bomb farming is a little more efficient because the way he's doing it now, the enemy has to rise a little bit. We have ice for Zeb. 30 missiles to 15. Oh, he's going back for wave. I think wave is worth the time. Not so much for boss damage, but for random enemy damage. And random room strats. It'll help you out. Yeah, it doesn't have a problem this time. But if you morph, then you can start spring ball jumping on the crumble blocks. And then you don't have to worry about falling at all. So Zeb is behind by one sandpit check, essentially. And has that Norfair information. Welcome Spiffy Thomas, the raid. There's a speed booster just for you. Spiffy is our number 2 seed. Nevdi happened to get number 1. Spiffy number 2, Zeb number 3, and Oats in 4th. Then we have Baron as 29. We are in the first week of the bracket stage. So we're going through our first set of best of 3s. Everyone is still a winner. But this tournament structure does have a loser's bracket. And you don't want to drop down there, because then you have to play more matches to stay alive. Yeah, so Zeb. Not going for the snail clip. Wonder if he's like playing the odds of speed being one of these 3 checks. Because that would save a bit of time. Sometimes snail clip is fast and sometimes it's not. So on Baron's side, you're going to pass by Meridia, so that seems like the place to go. You want to think about your health a little bit, because Red Tower does have some farm enemies. They're not good, but they're fairly fast. Respawning enemies are going to be a lot faster than having to reload a room. I'd like to see him take a save here, but I don't think it's too important. If you were to go to Norfair, it'd be more important to take the save. I think Meridia works out most of the time. more about if you have to make a dangerous decision, then you'd wish you had a save. Or reserves. E-tanks would be nice too. Oh, he's turned around. So he's just scouting the map location. Speed Hall, gonna drain about a full E-tank. And then from here, it'll be straight into Norfair. Oh, he turned around. Ah, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I forgot about the whole other half of the map. So Double Chamber has a major, Plasma Pirates have a major, plus Kraid is here. So it makes a lot of sense to come back here. You know that you have to come back to Brinstar later, because you can't deal with Ridley right now. And we are getting a snail clip after all. There is some heat damage on Baron's side coming up. Well, that was expertly done by Zeb. So hopefully he runs into a E-tank right here. But if not, with speed and high jump, you can do double chamber pretty fast. And then Kraid will give you some health drops. And now Zeb's about to find Speed Booster and be caught up on Majors. I think this Speed Ball out of Grapple Room is tighter than you'd think. I think you have to do a pretty quick short hop to make that. Grapple. If you continue over to Plasma Pirates, then your health is not going to be in a good place for reaching Kraid. If you do Kraid first, you're going to get some health drops. And it'd be a little better to do the super quick kill and not use your missiles. Because missiles and energy drops share like a slot on the drop table. So if you have full missiles, then you're going to be getting that many more energy tanks or energy drops. So you didn't really get that many. And so the trip over to Plasma Pirates isn't going to be that safe. There is a room in the middle. Plus the pirates themselves are going to have drops. Yeah, that Meridian map is pretty high up. They know where Mother Brain is. They know where Ridley is. So we are just looking for Dragon and like random items to finish the seed. Not likely to get a Crystal Flash from Plasma Pirates. You probably want to check the major. Ah, very astute. So Baron picking the right way to go again. Yes, Baron has Kraid killed. So now what do you do? Croc has another major. Didn't see that. We have X-Ray Charge, Spacer, Space Jump left to find. Croc is pretty slow. Yep. Currently, it looks like Baron is ahead, but it still depends on where the bosses are, where the items are. Right now, Zeb is doing some real slow farming, and so that's time that Baron shouldn't have to lose. Is this worst room up above? Right above Zeb? It'd be understandable to want to farm for that. Okay, so this is going to be at least Torian. And then maybe also Croc on Baron's side. But Zeb is heading in towards Notvaria. As soon as one of them finds Dragon, they will have all the boss information. Oh, the map's right here. So there's that. I don't see anything here. So you reset out. And then if Norfair... I don't know if we saw the Norfair map. But if we did, then Orion would have Dragon. And Baron will be running into that. So just like earlier, Zeb going to be following after Baron. There's still a wreck ship. Wreck ship off of Brinstar. You want to get that? You don't normally want to leave behind E-tanks, ever. Could be thinking about resetting. Could be thinking about the way back. Because it looks a little like it dead ends over here by the Torian map. What do we learn? I only saw hollow dots. Yeah, nothing here. So we're back at the ship. And Croc, yes. We're heading to Croc. We're gonna have 3 of 4 mini-bosses. So far, they've all been optional. And who wants to see a charge beam here? Yep, unfortunately did not want to go down the key stairs. And Zeb also didn't make it all the way over to Plasma Pirates. Oh, that was really fast rocks. What a rude crate. But Zeb's gonna get a lot of energy drops because his missiles are full. And actually, he got a similar amount of energy drops. The game's just not fair. Got all of his supers back. But it's not a problem getting over to the right. Getting back is the issue. But since Fury is over here, that doesn't matter either. Okay, so Baron makes it to Croc. We don't have the quick croc kill, since charge is what we're looking for. And I guess we'll see what Zeb decides to do. There's still options. Zeb's ammo is still pretty poor, and you don't want to be getting any hollow dots from here. But the last criteria major is in a really bad spot. Because you can see how long it took Baron to get there. And it's space jump, don't want it. So we are sort of tied up now. Zeb has Meridian information, Baron has Torian information. Zeb has been into Norfair, but didn't get the map. Or didn't learn enough. That is a big timer difference, yeah. So Baron must have the OBS setting where you keep delay when you reconnect. So it actually pauses the screen, or the stream, instead of like keeping things synced. So he's been having more desync over time. Going back to the left of Brinstar means Meridia, and there was nothing in Meridia. Zeb's in Torian, there's nothing in Torian. And Norfair and Wreckship were closer. Meridia seems odd. I don't know what the thinking is here. Like, I could see the opponent, after doing the Brinstar checks, continuing to Meridia, where Norfair and Wreckship are kind of in between, for something they wouldn't do right away. But Zeb gets to the map first. Baron has a kind of a long way to go still. And this pretty much puts Zeb in the lead. Yeah, I think you should add some stream delay. Resync these racers. Because it's not gonna fix itself. Okay, so Zeb is down criteria. At this critical juncture, we're going to freeze his stream for an entire minute. And focus on Baron. Running through Meridia, nothing really interesting happening here. The map is right at the top of Worst Room. And then he should have a reset point. But Meridia was not the answer. Zeb is into Everest. Baron's gonna be feeling pretty bad now, after missing on Torian and Meridia. I think he expects that he needs to just have a stronger route than Zeb to win this. But they are both going to be heading back to Brinstar. Zeb picks Norfair. Norfair is the bigger region. So that's why you would come here looking for something. There's just more rooms here for the thing to be here. It is the case that the map looks to be behind both mini-bosses in Norfair. So maybe that's why. He is going left again. Does left Brinstar make sense? Oh, for Ridley. But can't kill Ridley yet. Anyway, with the Norfair map. And there's Dragon, as well as a major pretty close, and 2 majors in Bubble Mountain. Oh, there's also a connection to Rickshop. That doesn't matter anymore. But it's here. Yeah, the wreck ship option was behind Ridley. And with the amount they were skipping, it just wasn't practical to route in Ridley. And that ends up making Norfair the better choice. So getting the majors first. X-ray. X-ray is in fact a major. One of the unique items in Super Metroid. And we have X-ray room with the charge beam. So there's our Dragon killing combo. So how required is this? Are these mini bosses? We're gonna see, but they looked fairly required. Without power bombs, you had to go through them. It looks like you can get around Batuan. Yeah, you can get around both of them. It's just not... Well, we'll see if it continues going for it. Yep, you go down and under Batuan, and then you would Shine Spark to the right of Spore Spawn. A lot of the time you actually can bypass Spore Spawn. But from here, Zeb got the information faster and is now closer to the boss that he needs to kill. So it's just going to be in the lead at this point. So the last thing stopping him would be running out of energy on Mother Brain or Ridley. But has certainly had to do much harder fights in his randomizer career. Dodge the Terminator item. But actually went back and wanted it. I find you basically always want 30 missiles, 15 supers. And without fanfares, that's a lot of misses. Without fanfares, it's safe to just pick up extra items. 1510. 1510 is fine. It doesn't want to get X-ray. Going back for X-ray. If you don't get X-ray and you're expecting to get charged before Dragon, you have to be confident in your grapple kill. And then gonna get charged over here. And that means Spazer is the only major we didn't see, but we did see the location of it on the map. It's in Norfair. I always like opening the door in Terminator room with the wave shot. Lets you just run through. Yeah, space jump was at Croc. But yeah, the same game. They both have all the information, all the items. We're in full go mode. So it's going to come down to execution and the ability to route. This is not your standard Super Metroid randomizer. This is a randomized map. So you need to either keep in mind what rooms are coming up or react to them real fast. And that's going to affect your finish time. Now on top of that is how well you can do each room. In randomizers, you're going to have a random set of equipment when going through each room. So it's not like a regular speedrun. And that means you have to approach each room differently in regards to going fast. And it's also important to show off some cool jumps while you're running around. Very important. Okay, so Zeb on his way to Ridley. Ridley's at the bottom of Brintstar. Yeah, a little bit farther down. There's a route through Wreck Ship that could reach Ridley. We don't know if it's faster. You would want to look at the overall world map for that. And you'd compare bottom of Brintstar to right side of Norfair. Maybe going through Wreck Ship's faster. But you don't have the map, and also you don't know if there's a one-way between you and Ridley. But it's an interesting thing to think about. Like, one of the biggest things about Map Rando is all the rooms are like physically connected, and you can route around or plan around the shape of rooms, as well as need to remember what rooms are shaped like. But then a lesser known thing is that the overall world map also has that same physical connectiveness. Okay, so we're into Ridley now. "20 shots should do the trick." Zeb plays KPDR. Very used to full beam fight. Going a little off script, using more than 10 supers. That gets Ridley down. from here it is back to Mother Brain. It helps a bit to get your supers back, and it is actually important to get your health back. But there's a lot of rooms between here and Mother Brain. And when you're looking for a couple energy drops, then you don't need that many. In fact, energy drops are even buffed in map rando, where small energies are going to be worth 10 instead of 5. Then we also have to deal with this baby Metroid. We're on the way to Mother Brain, so that means baby skip. See if you can pull it off. Go for lag strats. Gets through. Sure. We can talk about map rando a little bit. So I mostly work on the logic of map rando. We're playing hard logic here, and so that's supposed to be a bit of a copy of what Mystery Tournament's running in terms of tricks. But one of the big differences is that in Dash, you're going to run into more safety items early. For instance, if you're playing Major Minor, then that means you know that there's a bunch of energy tanks early. And then you have more safety to work with. But in map rando, there can be the lower Norfair rooms right away. And then you just have to deal with that with less. But otherwise, tricks are pretty similar, like ice clips, snail clips, baby skips not in logic, things like that. So the logic part of map rando is sort of a separate project. Quad rando is being worked on, and that is a continuation of SMZ3. So Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Zelda 1, Metroid 1. And that's going to be switching to the same logic model as what map rando uses. So that's what I've been working on. Before the randomizer was made, they started with the map generation system. And so that takes every room that's in the game and rearranges them into a map, and then also has weighting for what is fair and fun and doesn't immediately be impossible in the first few rooms. So all the maps are going to be like pre-generated, and there's a pool of about 20,000 currently for these settings. There's also more for different settings. There's the Mosaic project, which we're not showing today. Most of the runners aren't going to be running it in the tournament, but it retiles all the rooms, so they have a different visual, different looking tiles. That changes with what region you're in. Then if you combine all those things together, then there's the Map Randomizer project. So it has those three, and it mostly controls everything to put it all together into one randomizer. And decides what logic is, how to categorize difficulties and such. Such as giving hard logic this escape timer leniency, set at about 50%. So that just says that a hard level player needs about 50% extra time to run the escape compared to an expert player or a perfect player. And hard logic or hard difficulty isn't meant to be for this tournament. Isn't really meant to be played by players who can only do hard. Most everyone here can do higher difficulties, so there's gonna be lots of time left at the end. And that's Zeb taking the win with a 57-17. So GG to Zeb. Baron coming up on his Shack Tool fight right now. Gonna blow him up with a power bomb. That's a strong start. And then actually making Shack Tool do the work for him. Otherwise doesn't have a way past this sand wall. Yep, showing off proper mocking technique. Where you bounce on Shack Tool's head a little bit. This angers the Shack Tool. And that makes him dig imperceptibly faster. Did not go for the snail shot. Instead want to explode Shack Tool. But strong showing in the Shack Tool fight. And right after that, we're immediately into the Mother Brain fight. And actually doesn't have good health. Did Shack Tool win in the end with that final hit on Baron? Are we going to farm Shack Tool for energy to finish the seed? He has enough. We are farming Shack Tool. Okay, so 389 is enough. Alright. Does have Crystal Flash ammo, but then if he did Crystal Flash, he wouldn't have enough to break the glass and all that. So, into the brain fight. Can do charge shots. Does have 9 supers. Supers are pretty good. Can take 1 hit. Most hits do about 20 damage. Cannot take another hit. And that looks like the end of the fight. And yeah, from here we're going to skip Mother Brain 3. And the baby cutscene. Don't need to see that. So straight into the escape. And I went ahead and marked Baron done. We'll see if Zeb wants to join. Looks like he will. So welcome to Zeb and Baron, and GG's on your race.
GG, Zeb. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really didn't feel good about that one. It was another one that was like... That early game was so... I hate that the answer was the speed hallway. And... Like, when I saw the speed hallway, I was all like, I don't want to do that. Like, if the other room is bad, then I could just end up getting, like, having to reset. So, I just turned around and went every other possible way. Killed Bot Wound, killed Spore Spawn, and then eventually decided to come back to it. And
yeah, that was the 2 mini boss kill into you don't get a map out of it, so you have to go back anyway.
Just like all powerbomb doors eventually like stopping me. So
yeah. So meanwhile on Baron's side, just pick the right answers once again.
Other than Meridia, yeah.
Yeah,
and the space jump check. Yeah, it was another one where just a lot of map opened up and there were a lot of options to go for. The energy tank in the speed hallway, if that had not been there, I would have done the same thing, Zeb. The fact there was an E-tank right there, I was like, well, you know what? I had a save relatively recent. I'll just go through.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's completely crazy. I just think that, I don't know. I was not expecting the answer to be that way when I saw that it was speed hallway, so.
We had gotten Morph relatively recently at that point, right?
Kind of.
Morph was kind of late. It was a few steps in.
Yeah, we got like gravity as the last step before that, and then a missile, and
Yeah.
we got a
Yeah, you
few
just
other
got gravity and just entered
That's right.
this there.
Yeah, gravity for G4.
Yeah, we got spring ball before that too, or like after morph, and super
Yep.
after morph too. So
Both of you didn't really play the spring ball find that well.
No.
yeah.
Did you go down too?
Yep, I went down, and then I forgot about that. Like, it's something that I'm pretty good about remembering now, but every once in a while I'll get a seed like this where I just like forget about it. That room was really easy to forget about, especially when it's like spring ball that puts in logic. I was thinking I think that maybe if I hadn't seen G4, I would have put together that spring ball put that in logic. But because I saw G4, I was thinking, okay, spring ball is the way that we get back up from G4. I thought we were gonna find high jump. So that kind of messed with me a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, and then saw you trying to jump up through crab hole, but that wouldn't have helped anyway.
Yeah, it would have gotten me a missile.
But you did have a missile before Fantoon. We did get to see a super fight.
That must be nice, huh?
Yeah, I felt like it was kind of important to go up, to check those doors, before going down G4, just because it was really isolated. Like to go up the crab hole, go up Meridian map. And yeah, that missile was really nice to have against Fantoon. It's still not the best Fantoon fight. Like it was a 4-round with like 2 disappears or something, but
Better than the super only fight.
Better than a super running fight, is exactly that.
Yeah, where you had to farm all your supers back first, yeah. So.
Yeah, I got to there and I was like, shoot, this could be Fantoon, and I checked, and then it's like, oh, I only have 2 supers. I can't do this.
Did you not check the right door ever? So you didn't know for sure it was Fantoon?
I checked the right door first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I checked the right door first, but I only had 2 supers. And looking back, I could have just stayed and farmed flames.
Ship, like at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Right of the ship was the Fantoon save.
Oh, I never went there. No.
Yeah, that's where I went after falling down, after getting the spring ball and falling down. Because I was thinking that had to be the answer, because I just forgot about the little cubby hole in West Ocean. And then I just kept finding areas that had absolutely nothing in them, and I was truly not happy.
Yeah, from what we saw, Baron was kind of like making the right plays, like in particular going to Brinstar first, but then Zeb would catch up, and then you'd have more divergence. So that was Meridia versus back to Kraid and Varia. So Baron would pull ahead again, but then ended up just not doing Norfair right away, and you both did all of Torian, Meridia, and eventually Norfair. So it all kind of normalized.
I saw that, or I heard that you did Croc. Baron, where was Croc? Was there another way into wreck ship?
Croc was the top right of ship. That was the one last major in Criteria.
Okay.
And I did not want to take the chance.
So.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the chance of having to try to farm hollows. So in case that was charge, I went there.
I think I just missed that when I looked at the map, so that was
Lucky
good
you.
for me that I missed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause if
that
I
was
had
a
been
bad
charged,
check.
that would have been really bad for me. I mean, I went up there anyway because I went to Torian. I wanted to get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that was really isolated, so maybe it's not good to go there anyway, but I'm not sure it felt okay to me.
I hate leaving a region behind, isolated like that.
Yeah, and especially knowing there's a region behind Ridley
Yeah.
made me kind of want to check more. Um there was a chance that Charge was behind Ridley. And I was a little worried about that, so I kind of wanted to like find more ammo. And I was trying to kind of pick up ammo along the way too in case of that situation. My ammo wasn't great. I think it was at like 45, 15 or something. But and then like 10 power bombs. But I think that I was getting real like I was really, really close to a doable Ridley fight. So
Yep. At that point, you're just looking for Dragon, and could have been any of the regions. Same with like Charge.
hmm hmm
We were
yeah,
wondering why Baron went to Meridia after Torian instead of one of the closer regions, i.e. Norfair.
I think I looked at the map and thought that the Norfair, because that entrance was at the bottom of Toilet. I think just glancing through, I thought that it was in a room somewhere down there instead of just at the bottom of Everest. And so it looked a lot further away than it actually was.
I see. Do you think you would have gone there if you like saw it that was closer than it was?
Probably not, for the same reason that we both checked Turian. Because if you have to go kill Ridley and go past him into that other region, leaving anything behind just feels really bad and dangerous.
Sure. Yeah, it's been another good race. Thanks to having both of you here. Still fairly close results. And good luck to both of you in your future matches. Baron taking loss here, but still in the tournament.
Yep.
It's going to drop down to losers.
Yeah, these
Any,
matches were, I guess, yeah. These matches were a bit closer than I was hoping for them to be, but I think the Baron's a pretty solid player. I think he might be a little underseeded at 30. I was definitely more scared to get Baron than some of the other people around that range. So, and these were pretty good matches, I think. So, I think that they were good viewing at least.
Sounds like they were good content, so that's my biggest hope, is just to provide good races for people to watch. So.
Yeah, it was good.
Honor and privilege to go up against you, Zeb. GG's.
Yep, GG's.
Okay, so with that, we're going to be done with this, the best of 3 between Zeb and Baron.